Hello, all you F5 spammers here in the offseason. Welcome to League on Lock. Eric and Mark here with you guys. And with all the LCK rumors that were going around, we thought for sure free agency buzz would get started out in Korea. But Team Liquid said, nah, we had this thing planned all from the get-go on basically the first day, a couple hours after free agency. They say, Cloud9, we love Jensen. Give him to us. Doesn't matter if he's under contract. How much money do you want? That's fine. He's on our squad now.
Yeah, Steve calls up C9 Jack and just says, hey, last year everyone said you lost the offseason and you had a pretty good year. How about you start right away losing the offseason and hand over Jensen right over to me? Feels good, man, for Team Liquid.
And this was obviously something that they had been working on for a long time because immediately after it was announced, there's a thank you Jensen video and a welcome to the team video for Liquid. And I know those don't take that long to put together, but obviously this is at least a couple of days ahead of it. And really it was only leaked by Jacob Wolf 30 minutes before it became official. So there was no inkling of this happening before it actually did. And then look at that, Liquid. Immediately, people are going to say that is an upgrade over Pobelter. Well, because it is. Jensen's still an import here for spring, but come 2019 in summer, he will also be a domestic player in NA, much like Impact will be for the spring split. And now Team Liquid's roster already is looking a lot better than it did in 2018.
Yeah, and unfortunately this year we have seen that, yes, Pobelter and the Team Liquid roster has been good enough to find success at the North American level. To get those 2 championships last year is certainly a big accomplishment for that organization where they had been in the past and to get up to that level. But now we have to see that what the goals are for Team Liquid and their fan base has certainly changed to being wanting to succeed on the international level now, not only domestically. And this is that type of move that allows you to set up for that with Jensen in the mid lane, fixing some of the issues that we had seen at MSI and at Worlds where Pobelter seemed to be handicapping you in that middle lane. Jensen certainly will not be that for Team Liquid.
And so for right now, that's the only change with Liquid's roster, with Jensen coming in that mid lane. But if you're paying attention to some of these welcome videos that Liquid had, Ole was not present in any of those. He was, they showed Xmithy, they showed Impact, and then they showed Doublelift, of course. They're talking about all the best players. But Ole, I'm assuming, strategically was not involved in any of those videos, which makes you think that he will probably not be returning to the roster in 2019.
Yeah, certainly a possibility now, especially with the move to have Jensen in the mid lane. And I think when you're looking at Ole maybe moving on from Team Liquid, I think that does obviously have to play in to the idea that, yes, in summer, Jensen will be able to be an NA resident now, and you'll have another slot opened up and will be looking to make those proactive type of moves, as we know that Team Liquid usually does with the free agency market. So definitely not seeing Ole in this type of promotional video lends towards the thought of thinking that Team Liquid might be looking for a new support.
And Steve pretty quickly jumped on Hotline League to kind of talk about, obviously, a pretty huge move to start the offseason. And it does sound like he's looking for probably a Korean support to come in, and there are quite a few available. Core JJ, Gorilla, Ignar announced his free agency, so there's plenty of options there for Liquid to try and bring in. It's a matter of, do they want to come to NA? I mean, Core JJ, he's comfortable, world champion, and Dignitas all-time great.
Yeah, and hey, remember, Ignar has played with Doublelift before during some TSM boot camps in the past, had no issues with the gameplay between the two of them, so I think that is another option that Team Liquid could look at.
And Jensen, something's got to break here because Doublelift can't get out of groups at Worlds. Jensen does do that, but he can't win an NALCS title. Doublelift, all he does is win those lately, so it's something's got to break, or they both just stay true.
It seems like a perfect storm here left on Team Liquid to find out what level of success they're going to get this year.
And for Pobelter, we haven't even talked about him. He's gone. He's a free agent now. He tweeted, "Thank you, next." So all business for Pobelter. He's going on to the next team. The question is, where will he end up in 2019? I know people flamed and criticized him a whole lot for his international performances at MSI and at Worlds. But remember, he's still a domestic mid laner and is still a more than capable, still a top 5 mid laner when it comes to NA. So lots of teams will be hankering to get him on his squad. You got to be thinking 100 Thieves have got to come calling.
100 Thieves, a team like FlyQuest, you never know where the options might exactly pop up for someone like Pobelter. But after we've giving him a little bit of a hard time here for those international performances, which are due given the results that we had seen this year, you have to remember that he did find ways to step up domestically and help Team Liquid earn those championships that they did. Yes, Doublelift, of course, was the main win condition there, but Pobelter did find ways to withstand the pressure that was happening in the mid lane there domestically and find ways to allow Team Liquid to have success, and he needs to find ways to probably improve upon that heading in towards this season, looking for a new team.
And I mean, there's other teams that'll also be interested. Equifox, I'm sure, depending on whether or not they're keeping DeMonte, he did go in to free agency. Again, basically everyone in the league is in free agency right now, and that doesn't mean they won't return to the teams that they were on in 2018. They're just exploring options, seeing how much money people will throw at them going forward. So I'm pretty confident to say Pobelter will be on a squad in 2019. And something else I want to mention about Jensen is because what's Cloud9 going to do afterwards? Is Golden Glue going to be their main starter going forward? Or, if you're paying attention to Jack's Twitter feed, I'm sure he's memeing and trolling, but he's following a lot of EU mids. He followed Senkux, he followed NukeDuck, he followed Caps, and Caps' contract is up with Fnatic. Wouldn't that be something? See Caps go from Fnatic to Cloud9. So I'm sure Jack's just memeing there, but who knows?
I'm very confident that Jack
is the meme lord.
Is just memeing there with some of those type of follows, but I do think that Cloud9 will look to replace Jensen with another established mid laner here. Who knows, throughout free agency, someone that they could be getting through here. But I think that if they do ultimately land upon staying with Golden Glue, trying to see if he can develop even further, I don't think is necessarily the worst type of move that Cloud9 can make. I think that he's shown enough synergy with the rest of the roster that I think that you should be deserving enough of a chance here. But I would expect Cloud9 to be looking to add something here with letting Jensen go.
Yeah, Golden Glue did prove that he is an LCS caliber starter, but other teams might be calling for that domestic mid lane spot as well. Definitely expect some moves in response for Cloud9 and plenty more moves for Liquid. But for right now, they continue to look like the powerhouses of North America.